Good morning everybody, it's Rory Holiday, the physiotherapist here. It's a beautiful day outside again today and I've got some balance exercises for you now. It's only going to be a short video with some simple exercises that get a little bit harder. The great thing about balance exercises is that your nervous system learns and laps this up really quickly. So by the end of this session you'll be far better than you were at the beginning of it. However, that will lapse over time. So this is something that needs to be done frequently so that your nervous system ingrains it and it becomes the norm for you. So hopefully there's something in here that just hits a spot for you. We're going to start nice and basic and build it up as I said, and then let's see where we can take it and see if you can get a bit of this done every day. Lovely. Right, so we're going to start off in standing. We're going to do an exercise called foot series. I've used it before in some of my Pilates exercises, and it starts off with a bending of the knee. So we're going to start off thinking about our neutral standing posture. So we're going to make sure that we've got chin lightly tucked in toward the throat, shoulder blades gently set down and back behind you, pelvis in that neutral position. So you're tilting that pelvis forwards, tilting it backwards, find that halfway position. Find it and keep it there. And then we're going to get our weight equally distributed across the feet. So we sway forwards onto the balls of the feet, back onto the heels, and just gently find that halfway point with equal weight spread through the foot. Try and keep that in place. This is our neutral position that we're going to use for all of the exercises that we do in standing. So always try and come back to this tallness through the crown, shoulder blades gently set, neutral position in the pelvis, neutral position in the feet. And then from there, we're going to start off with a bend of the knees and hips. I've moved my hands up so that you can see me, but you can have yours hung down. And bear in mind here, as I bend the knees, hips and ankles, I'm not allowing myself to lean forward. So it's only a very small beginnings of a squat. It's not a full squat. And once you've done this a couple of times, just think about, can I relax into that a little bit more? Can I allow that movement to happen with absolutely no effort? So that you're relaxing and letting go on the way down, and it's just the smallest amount of engagement as you come back up. Breathing with each repetition, and then from there, the next time those knees are bent, we're going to allow the weight just to switch forwards onto the balls of the feet so that we can lift the heels. Notice as we lift the heels, we've not gone up. Now as we straighten the knees, we go up. Lower the heels down. Bend of the hips, knees and ankles, lean forward, lift those heels, straighten up and down. And if you're finding that your balance is challenged by this already, just have something like a stool or the back of the chairs, just so you can put the lightest fingertip touch on something to give you your balance stability. And then we'll remove that support in time if we can. Okay. Now we're going to reverse. We're going to lift the heels, we're going to bend at the hips and knees, and then we're going to lower the heels back down, straighten up, lift, bend, down, straighten up into the air, bend, down. One more repetition, lifting those heels, bending at the knees, dropping those heels down. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Now, we're going to move into some single leg standing exercises. We're going to start by bringing the base of support nice and narrow so it makes life a little bit easier for you. Again, we've got that neutral position through the neck, shoulders and pelvis, equal weight through the forefoot and heels. And I want you to now imagine you've got a plumb line hanging from your nose down through your navel, right down to the floor, almost between the feet. And we're trying not to allow that plumb line to move at all. Now I'm going to lift weight slowly off one leg by peeling weight off the heel, and then I'm going to lift that knee, and we're just going to hold that position. So it's a single leg stand, nothing more complicated than that. And then we're going to slowly put that back down, and we're going to see what it feels like on the other side. How far does your plumb line shift to the side? Can you keep it dead center, or do you feel like your body wants to lean and pitch to one side? If you feel like this is going really well, good stuff. Let's put the hands on the hips and just feel what happens to the pelvis. The pelvis should stay level. We don't want to feel like it hitches up as we do this. We want to keep it nice and level, even if it means that you only lift the foot a little way. You might notice the higher you lift the knee, the more you pitch. So try to avoid that if we can. Okay, and if things are going super well, we're going to lift that and hold it there, and then we're going to see what it feels like to look around the room. That will destabilise you a little bit, particularly if you stood on a mat. If it's too wobbly, get off the mat. And all we're doing here is challenging those other sensors. Your eyes and your inner ear give you a lot of your balance input. If you get them moving, they're always guessing, and you're relying on that peripheral input from your lower limb and other parts of your body to tell you where you are in space. So get the head moving to make it harder. Okay, good. Back into the middle, and we'll switch sides with that one. Peeling weight off that other foot, lift that up, and if that's feeling pretty stable, again, we're going to move the head. We're going to keep breathing. We're going to relax the face. We're not clenching the teeth or sticking the tongue out. We're not hunching the shoulders up, they're nice and relaxed. Fingers are relaxed. Toes are relaxed. We're not clawing. Good work. One more in each direction. And back into the middle. And of course, if that's too tough, bring it back down a level. There's absolutely no benefit in doing an exercise where you're wobbling all over the place just to feel like you're doing a harder level. No use at all. Take it back to something basic that you can control and then build it back up to that harder level. Right, we're going to use that single leg stand if you could manage it well. If you could not manage it well, I just want you to continue with the super slow-mo marching on the spot. This next exercise that we're going to try to do otherwise is going to be called, well, I call it a forward lean, but it's almost like a pivot lean where we're moving from one hip as we're in standing. I'm going to lift that one leg up in front of me, but now I'm going to lean myself forward. Notice how the other leg goes back behind me as I do so, and then I come back up. Now I can make this a little bit harder by bending that standing knee. Well, I say it makes it a bit harder, you might find it makes it a little bit easier. So it's almost like a single leg dip. The body pitches, and I return to standing. And if you wish, you can even go so low as to tap the floor with your toe behind you, and then bring it back up. Straightening out that knee fully. Okay. Now my next repetition, this last repetition, we're going to switch sides and we're going to demonstrate another part of this exercise to you. Okay, I'm going to put my hands on my hips, so I'm switching legs, I'm lifting the other leg up. I'm going to try and keep my pelvis level as I do this exercise. The temptation would be that this leg that's reaching back behind me, that the pelvis drops on that side. I don't want that to happen, I want to keep it level. And having the hands on the hips, just lightly, gives you a little bit of feedback as to where that is in space. Keep that chin tucked in as well if we can. So actually your nose draws a line through the floor and then comes back up. Imagine you've got an orange just tucked under the chin. As you do that movement, it gives you just a little bit more sense of stability through the rest of the body. Excellent work. One more repetition if you can. Ooh, wobbling because I'm looking at my list. Last one. Okay, good work. Have a moment there. Just have a little bit of a bend and a straighten of the knees. Now, we're going to take it up a level now. We're going to be looking at a lunge. I say we're taking it up a level. There's a basic version to this, but it does get harder if we need it to. So we're going to be using a long lunge position. So I'm going to start with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And I mean a long lunge. It's like your longest stride almost. I'm going to keep my shoulders over my hips. And as I lunge, I'm trying to keep my upper body weight over that back leg and hip and come back up. So I'm not leaning forwards. Shoulders stay up, shoulders stay over hips, hip stays over back knee as we lower that down. You do not need to go to the floor with this one. All I want you to consider is that you've got a narrow base of support, okay? So as you look through where my feet are, it's quite a narrow base, okay? If you need to, you can make it wide, but the real challenge is in keeping it narrow. Equally, if you find that long position isn't kind on your thighs or your knees, make life a little bit easier. Don't go so long, but I still want you to stay shoulders over the hips if we can. Okay, so that's the position. Long lunge, okay? It doesn't stop there. We're going to make it a little bit harder. We're going to go with the arms out in front of us, and as we lower down, we lift the arms up, and then back down with the arms. There we go. So it's a little bit more demanding on those muscles in the legs, but you're having to balance at the same time, and that's where I really want you to feel like you're challenged. Okay, we've got a couple of versions of this one, so keep that going. We're going to do another couple of repetitions, and we're going to switch legs. Okay, and when you're back upright, switch legs over. Back heel is lifted. Arms out in front. As we bend, we lift the arms. And remember, shorten the stride if you need to make it easier. Don't go so low if you need to make it easier. Keep those shoulders over the hips. Couple more reps. Okay, and then have a little rest there. Feel a bit warm now. Okay, so we're going to make it a little bit more of a balance challenge now. So as the balance challenge gets harder, we can make it easier in other elements. We can widen the base of support a little bit. We can shorten the length of the stride. See how you go with the harder level and then make it easier if we need to. Okay, so we're going to start with those arms out in front. One foot out in front of the other. And actually I'm going to switch legs so you can see me clearly. I'm going to lower down, but when I'm down there, I'm going to rotate. And I'm only rotating the upper body. Bring it back, up we come. Let's try for 5 reps. We're going to lower down there. So this is rep number 2. Turn, back, up. Imagine you've got hold of a beach ball, and I'm just going to turn to give it to you, and then bring it back. But don't turn so far that you lose your balance. Turn as far as you can without losing the balance. How have I lost count already? That must be 3. Okay, good work. One more, and then we're going to switch legs. And we'll go the opposite way. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Okay, so if you didn't notice, I'm turning toward the side that's in front. You can go the other way, but I think it makes a bit more sense to go this leg that's in front. So I lower myself down, and I turn. I come back and I come up. Now some of you might be having a revelation here, finding that one side's pretty good, but the other side's not so good. So you might actually be able to work at a higher level on one side than you can on the other. Not to complicate things, I would stick to the basic level. The side that is the weakest is the side that you focus on and the level that you go to on both sides. I've totally lost count now, so we're going to do one more. Okay, back in and up. Yeah, those fires are burning now. Okay, one last layer to this exercise. We're going to do the same long lunge, but instead of rotation, we're going to do a side bending movement, okay, with the arms above our head. So I'll do this one facing you. We're going to go out. Actually, I'll switch legs. Okay, arms out in front. I'm going to lower myself down, lifting my arms, and then I'm going to lean over to the side a little. I'm going to bring that ball back, come back up. Down we go, lean it over, and come back up. And you can either keep the arms up there or bring them down, whichever you feel you can coordinate best. If you're not very good at coordination, just leave them up there. If you can manage the coordination, then bring them over. One more repetition. Okay, excellent, good. See how far you can make your body side bend and not just your arms. Okay, we're going to switch. Last one. Lowering down, taking that over, bringing that back up, lowering down, taking that over. And again, if your coordination is good, start in front, go up and over, and then down and back. If your coordination isn't so good, you're just going to keep those arms up there. And I think we're going to do one more rep. Again, totally lost count, can't count to 5 and talk at the same time. Okay, excellent, well done. Right, so we're going to do a little mobiliser for the hips just to finish off here. Arms across your chest. We're going to roll the foot inwards and outwards. It's my right foot, but I think it appears as my left foot in the video. It inverts it for some reason. I'm going to roll that inwards and outwards. Nice and easy to begin with. And then what we're going to do is turn to that side. So turning to your left,
keep that foot rolling. And whilst you're turned to the left, rolling the left foot, let that left foot just rest. Turn the other foot. But try and keep the body turned. And you'll find that the sense is different. It's harder to roll it outwards than to roll it inwards now. Keeping that body turned, almost looking over the shoulder. Bring that back into the middle. Okay, so now we're going to focus on this leg. On your right leg, we're going to roll it inwards and outwards. Still breathing, still panting in my case. Okay, pretty easy so far with this mobiliser. So we're going to make it a little bit harder. We're going to turn the body toward that side, and then we're going to roll that foot inwards again. As you roll it inwards, you'll probably feel it's a little stiffer going inwards than outwards. Usually is for most people. Just trying to let that foot soften into the floor, keeping the torso and the pelvis turned. And then we're going to switch feet, and you'll find rolling inwards feels easy now, but rolling outwards is a bit stiffer probably. A couple more reps. Just to get those hips just loosened up after all of that. Okay. Now if you're really feeling those quads after those lunges, ease back out of that. And you should have a look for my quads release video on YouTube, or you might find it through my Facebook page. Give those quads a good stretch and a release as well, and they should feel A-OK to do this again tomorrow. Excellent, I hope you enjoyed that. There's plenty more where that came from. See how you go. If you've got any comments, let me know. Hope you have a good day. Enjoy the sunshine. Bye-bye.